On May 23, 1977, a quiet spring morning in the Netherlands turned into a dramatic chapter in the nation's history. A passenger train traveling between Assen and Groningen in the northern province of Drenthe was hijacked near the village of Punt. This act of militancy by South Moluccan separatists captured global attention and highlighted long simmering post-colonial tensions between the Netherlands and its South Moluccan community. The hijacking, one of the most significant domestic crises in the Netherlands during the 20th century, was part of a coordinated attack that also involved the hostage-taking of a school in Bovensmilde. Together, these incidents plunged the nation into weeks of fear, uncertainty, and introspection about its colonial legacy. To understand the 1977 train hijacking, it is essential to grasp the historical context of South Moluccan grievances. The South Moluccas, part of the Maluku Islands in Indonesia, were once under Dutch colonial rule. During the Indonesian struggle for independence, 1945 to 1949, many South Moluccans fought alongside Dutch forces in the Royal Netherlands East Indies Army, KNIL. When Indonesia gained independence, the South Moluccans hoped for their own independent state, the Republic of South Maluku, RMS, which was declared in 1950. However, this aspiration was quickly suppressed by the Indonesian government. In the aftermath, approximately 12,500 South Moluccans, mostly former KNIL soldiers and their families, were relocated to the Netherlands. The Dutch government promised to support their fight for independence, but instead resettled them in temporary housing and largely ignored their political demands. This betrayal fostered deep resentment within the South Moluccan community. By the 1970s, frustration boiled over, leading to a series of militant actions by young South Moluccans to force the Dutch government to acknowledge their plight. May 23, 1977, early in the morning, 9 armed South Moluccan militants boarded a passenger train near Punt. Shortly after departing, they commandeered the train, taking approximately 50 passengers and crew hostage. Simultaneously, another group of South Moluccan militants seized an elementary school in the nearby village of Bovensmilde, holding over 100 children and several teachers hostage. The coordinated attacks were designed to maximize public attention and pressure the Dutch government into meeting their demands. The release of South Moluccan prisoners detained after earlier militant actions. Official recognition of the Republic of South Maluku, RMS. For 19 days, the hijackers held their ground. Negotiations between the Dutch government and the militants were painstakingly slow. The captors were steadfast in their demands, while the government, led by Prime Minister Joop den Uyl, adopted a firm stance against yielding to violence. The situation was further complicated by the psychological toll on the hostages, who were confined under extreme stress, and the public outcry for a swift resolution. On June 11, 1977, after exhausting diplomatic options, the Dutch government decided to launch a military operation to end the crisis. The intervention was meticulously planned and executed with precision. Early in the morning, the operation began with fighter jets flying low over the train to create a deafening noise. This was intended to disorient the hijackers. Special forces stormed the train in a coordinated assault, using explosive charges to breach the carriages. The operation resulted in the deaths of 6 of the 9 hijackers and 2 hostages. The remaining hostages were rescued, though several sustained injuries during the raid. The raid was widely praised for its tactical success, but also faced criticism for its high death toll. Autopsies later revealed that some of the hijackers had been shot at close range, leading to allegations of excessive force. The Dutch government maintained that the operation was necessary to ensure the safety of the majority of hostages, but the event left scars on both the South Moluccan community and Dutch society as a whole. The 1977 train hijacking marked a turning point in the relationship between the South Moluccan community and the Dutch government. While it brought international attention to the South Moluccan cause, it also led to increased scrutiny of their militant tactics. In the years following the hijacking, militant actions by South Moluccans declined. The Dutch government took steps to improve the socio-economic conditions of the South Moluccan community, but stopped short of addressing their political demands for independence. The incident forced the Netherlands to confront its colonial past and its ongoing responsibilities toward former colonial subjects. It also set a precedent for how governments respond to domestic terrorism and hostage crises. The 1977 Dutch train hijacking remains a complex and emotionally charged event in Dutch history. It exposed the deep frustrations of a marginalized community, tested the resolve of the Dutch government, and highlighted the lingering wounds of colonialism. While the hostages were eventually freed, the legacy of the hijacking serves as a reminder of the challenges of reconciling historical injustices with contemporary realities.